Hello, it's Mrs. Reynolds. As promised, I'm going to talk to you about our RSE curriculum at Crosshats Primary School. You might have seen a consultation before. It was a while ago now, and I thought that given the changes that we've made recently with bringing everything under the Crosshats character and culture umbrella, it would be worth sharing some of these things with you again in case they have been missed or just to refresh our memories. So, the aim of this video is to inform you of our legal obligation in terms of RSE, which is our Relationship and Sex Education curriculum, to share with you what that looks like at our school, and also to welcome any questions and feedback. So, sex and relationships education became compulsory across the country from September 2020. It was delayed until 2021 due to COVID and all of the disruption that came with that. But this is compulsory now. We obviously do, as I've said, welcome parents' involvement in school life. We're committed to working with you for the benefit of the children, which is why we're choosing to share this with you. You've already seen our character and culture compass. I have talked to you about that. The RSE strand, as you will see, is one of the 8 points of the compass, which that's how integral it is to our children's personal development. All of this information is available on our website. And under the Character and Culture tab, you will be able to see our PSHE curriculum, our medium-term planning and overviews for right from early years through to year 6. It is all available there and accessible for you to look at should you choose to do so. So what I've done through the PowerPoint is ask a question that I sort of anticipate people might have, and also one or two that I have actually been asked already. So I've got the question at the top and then I have answered the question underneath, and I will obviously expand on that as I'm talking as well. So in terms of what is new, from September 2020, obviously delayed till 21, all primary school children must be taught about relationships and health. That is the law and it applies to all schools. The statutory content will form part of personal, social and health and economic education, which is our PSHE. And obviously it all comes under, as I've said, that character and culture compass. And it links, especially the relationships element, it really does link through all of the points of our compass, developing a sense of self, understanding what is healthy and what is not. So it will just be woven in. But in terms of what is actually new is that the law changed, the law came in, RSE is statutory for all primary school children. So in terms of what stays the same, well, we've always taught our children about dealing with the world around them as part of our PSHE. You've already seen our commitment to that in terms of the character and culture compass and what we've done historically to help with our children's character and personal development. We'll keep doing that. Our lessons will still be called PSHE on all of our planning and our documentation. And when we teach, we will also be teaching it as PSHE. We won't change the name for the children. It will just be incorporated into our PSHE lessons and planning. So the government has made this change because they believe that relationship education will prevent discriminatory behaviours. In fact, what they say is it will prevent bullying, but really the aim is to prevent discriminatory behaviours based on perceived differences and to help children to be happy, healthy, safe, and to prepare them for a life in a diverse modern society. They say that making the subject compulsory demonstrates commitment to those aims. So I have mentioned before, PSHE and character education are not compulsory. They are things that we choose to do. We are not directed to do those. They are suggested, but non-statutory. This is statutory. The government made this compulsory so that we all have to do it. And all of the children in all of our primary schools across the country will receive this education. So obviously calling it relationships and sex education does raise a question for some people of whether the relationship education will be suitable for your child. The teaching will be age appropriate and respectful of faith and diversity. We teach all kinds of things in age and stage appropriate ways. We deal with lots of issues on a daily basis, and we are mindful of all of our children. And of course, we will deliver a suitable curriculum for all of our children. The relationships education curriculum does not teach children about sex. Despite the title, it is not a sex education curriculum. It is relationships and healthy relationships. It's really important that you're aware of that, and that you know that that is what this curriculum does and does not. It is not to teach children about sex education. The question of relationships education being compatible with religion and religious beliefs, we obviously, these are the words, these are not my words, these are the directives. Schools must take into account the religious background of all pupils and handle sensitive topics appropriately, which of course we do all the time. The Equality Act of 2010 states that religion or belief are protected characteristics, along with age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage, civil partnerships, pregnancy, maternity, race, sex, and sexual orientation. Schools must deliver the statutory curriculum to all pupils. So we will make every effort to ensure that all topics are delivered sensitively, as we always do. And yes, we will ensure that what we teach is compatible with our children. For children with special educational needs and disabilities, we will continue to teach our children with SEND, as we already do. Sometimes we require a bespoke curriculum, but relationships education, like everything else, will be differentiated and personalised. But we do have the duty to prepare children for adulthood from early childhood. And that is set out in the SEND Code of Practice. RSE, as well as PSHE and everything else, really falls under that for us. We continue to do what we do day in, day out for these children, and we will deliver stage-appropriate things, stage-appropriate lessons, and knowledge and information for all of our children. The question of withdrawing children from the relationships education lessons, there is no legal right to withdraw children from relationships education. We are legally obliged to deliver the full curriculum to all children. The question of learning about gay relationships or the LGBT plus community, we already and will continue to teach children to be respectful and fair to people from all types of families. We encourage our children to be tolerant and accepting, understanding of the world that they live in. So families look very different. Everybody's family is different. So there might be a mum and dad, single parent families, adoptive, foster families, same-sex parents. Some children live with grandparents. That will be an integral part of the curriculum, but there will be no such thing as an LGBT plus lesson. The DfE has included different types of families in order to promote respect for diversity and to prepare children for the world that they live in. Children will also learn about healthy relationships with family and friends. They will learn about getting along with other people, which obviously that links back to tolerance, bullying, and also managing conflict, keeping themselves safe in person and online, how to get help if they feel unsafe. Just going back to the online, obviously we are really mindful of that at the moment. Some of our children are already talking about things and being exposed to things that we would not wish them to be seeing or learning about. You will have seen that Miss Craven is delivering information every Wednesday regarding this. So as much as we're trying to encourage safe online behaviours in school, we're also trying to onboard parents and families with this as well, to educate all of our community about the things that are online. So lots of these things that we're doing, we will be educating our children, but we'll also be sharing that knowledge and information with you as well. Back to this question, is sex education part of these lessons? No. The requirement for primary schools is to teach relationships education only. We will teach about puberty. We have always taught about puberty. In Key Stage 2, children have to learn about the emotional and physical changes that happen to them during puberty. That is really important because some of our children are facing situations that they're not prepared for. It is in their best interests for their emotional and physical well-being, to understand what happens to them as their bodies change and grow. It is part of the statutory health education curriculum. So in year 4, children will learn just about the biology of the menstrual cycle during PSHE. They will also learn about hygiene routines and how growing and changing might impact their feelings. In year 6, this will be delivered as it has been historically in single-sex groups by the class teacher or the school nurse, and a letter outlining what will be covered and when will be sent to parents prior to that lesson. Again, that is statutory. And it absolutely is in the children's best interest to understand what is happening to their bodies and their minds as it happens, and ideally before it happens, really. We obviously want and encourage an open conversation between families and school to make sure that we are giving children the best PSHE provision and preparing them for life beyond the school, not just the adult world, but the life that they are living now, and the things that they see and the things that happen in the world, so that they can experience things safely and with the appropriate knowledge for their age and stage of development. We do welcome feedback, and we will continue to work alongside families. If you, I hope I've answered any questions that you might have had. Obviously, as I've said, the curriculum and all of the information regarding RSE is available under the Character and Culture tab on the website. So if you do have anything that could be cleared up by looking at the curriculum, absolutely have a look on there. If you do require any further information, please do send me an email and I will, of course, help wherever I can. I hope that's been useful, but do get in touch if I can help. Thank you.